Hey guys, it's Courtney from Willow's Bloom, and I am back here today to give you an April forecast for the sign of Pisces, Sun, and Rising sign. You can watch for your moon sign if you want, but the rising is the most relevant, and then after our sun sign is also still relevant. So just make sure you watch for both of those. Before we jump in today's forecast, I wanted to mention how important last month was. We had Saturn moving into the sign of Pisces, where it's going to be for the next 2.5 years. We had Pluto changing signs into the sign of Aquarius, and Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. So that's a really big deal as a collective to see our society start to shift and turn and focus into a different direction. So make sure that you watch those videos down below. I also have a video on the Aries new moon, which actually started off our astrological new year. So happy 2023 officially, according to astrology. And this astrological new year will set the tone for the rest of the year and what we're trying to achieve. So please make sure you watch those, all three videos, especially the two on Saturn in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius, because those are going to be really important for the years to come. All right, so the reason I'm doing this video is because I did a poll on my YouTube channel and asked you guys, do you want a weekly or do you want a monthly forecast? And I got pretty much 50-50 response, so I have never been more confused in my life. And I wanted to do an experiment. I wanted to actually try the monthly video and see what you guys thought. So let me know in the comments down below which one you prefer. I was thinking we could do maybe monthly for all of the signs and then weekly overviews if I have time for something like that. Not sure if I would dedicate myself to that or not yet. But if you have another idea or if you're interested in that in particular, please let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's go ahead and get started now. That's what I'm trying to say. April 3rd, we have Mercury moving into the sign of Taurus, which for you, Pisces, is in your third house. And this is going to bring about quite a bit more busyness. So for those of you guys who have been feeling like you maybe have had a chiller few weeks, or maybe you haven't, I don't know. I think things are going to continue to be busy, to be honest. I pulled the Lovers card, which doesn't necessarily indicate anything particularly busy, but I definitely feel like whenever Mercury moves into the third house, we are thinking a lot. We're having lots to do. Sometimes we're moving around a lot more, like we're traveling to go on little trips here or there. I really feel like this is somebody kind of running errands kind of energy. And I pulled the Knight of Wands. So definitely, that's what I'm saying. A lot of energy, a lot of momentum. This could feel maybe a more creative and inspired time as well, because Mercury just generates a lot more ideas. You might also notice, especially with this Lovers card, that you connect with more people. Like you're reaching out to people more, you're talking to your friends more, you're just communicating in general more. So I think it's just a time of like a lot of creativity, ideas, passions, movement, excitability, things to do. And so you might just feel like stimulated. If you also have siblings, this is a time to definitely reconvene and connect with your siblings. Talk to them more if you have a good relationship with them. If not, don't worry about it. But this is making, on April 3rd, this Mercury is making a square to Pluto in your 12th. So I just saw 333. So there might be something, I don't know. What does the numerology 3 stand for? Let me look it up. Okay, numerology 3, identify by enthusiasm, energy, and great social spirit. So that's definitely what I'm feeling for you guys. A lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. But on April 3rd, Mercury is squaring Pluto in the 12th house. So there can be sometimes a need to leave the past in the past with this energy. You might have some of the past resurface in order to be addressed in some capacity. It's kind of like Mercury square Pluto. Pluto is something that we will repress within our psyche. And when Mercury squares it, it's trying to draw it up to the surface. And because Pluto's in the 12th house, there is something around like the past. Yeah, this is the past that's just coming back up. But I almost feel like it just needs to be let to die or left alone. We see the Wheel of Fortune, which I do feel like is indicating a successful completion of this, like leaving the past in the past. But we have the Death and the Eight of Cups. So this is like an ending and walking away. The death is also a transforming of an energy, because the energy is still from the past, is still present. It's still within your psyche, and it needs to be transformed and changed into something else. It needs to be redirected into a different outlet, instead of just like, oh, I'm just not going to think about it. It's like, no, what we need to make peace with this and transmute the energy, use the energy elsewhere. And I think the Eight of Cups is just indicating not being attached to it anymore. Maybe it's an old story that you've told yourself. Maybe it's an old way of communicating, an old way of thinking. Maybe it's being overly busy. Maybe it's having an issue in a particular relationship. There's so many things that it can be. It's going to be individual for all of you. But I really feel like the past is coming up for some reason really strongly. And that saying of like, leave the past in the past, it just keeps playing in my head again and again and again. So I almost feel like you might need to use that as some kind of mantra for yourself or something, because it feels like this cycle is ready to be completed for you to transcend it and to start your upward spiral for things to get better. But I almost feel like some of you guys are anticipating that the negative things of your past are just going to replay. And I feel like you're fearful and you're like bracing for impact. And this Wheel of Fortune card to me is saying you're transcending that cycle. Like, this is not just going to keep happening. Even if similar circumstances present themselves, it doesn't mean that they're going to be ending in the same outcome. So you really need to let the past go. Leave the past alone. Walk away from that story. Walk away from that thought, because that's not the reality of how things are right now. There can be a lot of fear tied to that as well. Like, part of the reason why things repeat in our mind over and over again is there's usually some kind of fear. And Pluto sometimes can have to do with like fear of loss of control, loss of power. So there might be something even like existentially driving you that you might not even be fully aware of. So just kind of thinking about that. On April 5th, we have, again, Mercury and Taurus in your third. This time it's sextiling Saturn in your first. So I think that this is truly going to help you solidify something in your life instead of trying to play into the past. When Mercury sextiles Saturn, it's taking our ideas and making them a reality. With Saturn in your first house, this is making that reality as part of who you are, part of your identity. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to think about the past in the same way as I did. I'm going to approach this thing differently, and I'm going to become a different person in the process. That sextile with Saturn in your first is like literally rebuilding you, like one little brick at a time through your thinking. So I really feel like you guys are going to start to notice that things become a lot more solid within you. We have the Emperor and the King of Swords as well. So I think many of you guys might also have, like, besides this identity that you're forming, I think you guys might also be stepping more up into leadership in your own life. This is going to be important for clear communication, setting important boundaries with yourself and others. Boundaries is going to be really important, like a schedule, a structure. And that is a message that honestly keeps coming up for a lot of people in April. And I think it's because there's so much Taurus energy, and I feel that many of us, in order to ground and create something in our practical reality, we need an existing structure. So I think many of us are doing that right now, yourself included, is setting these important time boundaries, space boundaries, energy boundaries. This is how much I will think about this. This is how much I will dedicate to this. This is how, just like looking at things from an objective reality as well, and having more like self-control, control over our lives, over our personality, over our reactions. It just feels like you're having a plan, you're having a goal, and you're working towards that, and you're having parameters, and you're not going to like bounce around everywhere wasting time and energy. You're going to like stick within the parameters and move forward towards that thing. That will also help with the completion of a particular identity, which is very much this Emperor card of like, I am a leader. I am the one setting the rules. And this is part of my identity. So I think that you guys are stepping into that, and there is some sort of structure that you will maintain that will help you with that. On the same day, April 5th, you have Sun conjunct Chiron in Aries in your second house. So I think that this is really going to help you in the process of healing your relationship with money and with your own confidence and your own inner stability. So many of you guys whenever Chiron is in Aries, we have some sort of wounded masculine energy as a collective that we're all experiencing. For you, it's coming in your area of self-worth, finances, and your possessions. So when you have the wounded masculine here, you might make decisions that keep you in a place where you feel like, I'm not confident enough to go after that thing. I'm not confident enough to ask for this amount of money. I'm not confident enough to charge for this. And it's like, it puts you into a position where you don't feel like you have enough to offer, and it makes people not as willing to give you what you deserve because you don't think you deserve it. So when the sun conjuncts Chiron and Aries, everyone is going through some type of healing around this masculine energy. For you, it's going to help you in that particular area of your life. For you, it's going to help you see your own value and worthiness so that others can start reflecting that back to you. So you can start pursuing things more intentionally, more aggressively even. And I think it's going to start you on a new path that will help bring the things you really desire back to yourself. Because I feel like you guys have pushed it away and felt unworthy or not good enough. And I really see that starting to change. I see your relationship with money starting to change. Your relationship with what it is that you actually take action on starting to change. And it's so weird because I pulled the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles for this one. So it's like entirely, it's a very brand new start for you. So if you've had this old like story with money or with confidence that has repeated in your life again and again and has like really just been old and tired, I see you leaving that past in the past, like I mentioned, and truly starting new. With all these pages, it's like 3 new beginnings. You're having a new practical beginning, like you're taking a step towards something with the Page of Pentacles. You're having a new beginning with the Page of Swords where your mindset is starting to shift. You're actually like thinking about yourself or your money differently. So it's like you're taking the practical steps, you're taking the steps within your mental aspect, and then you're changing your emotional aspect as well. How do I identify with my sense of worthiness? How do I feel inside about myself? You're changing those internal emotions and completely like shifting your life to align with this thing that you're wanting for yourself. So a lot of financial healing, a lot of self-confidence and leadership healing is happening so you can start to see how worthy you truly are. On April 6th, we have a full moon in Libra in your 8th house, and this is going to help really draw out any of the shadows and insecurities that have fed into the narrative that you can't have what you want, that you're not good enough, that you can't charge that amount of money. And it's going to help further intimacy, shared finances, and personal empowerment. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, so I'm not going to go into that right now. April 11th, we have Sun conjunct Jupiter, one of the best transits of the year. Sun conjunct Jupiter tends to make us feel expansive, optimistic, excited, see all these opportunities, feel like we can have new relationships or things and situations come into our life that allow us to feel really abundant. For you, this is in your 2nd house in Aries. So you quite literally could have this brand new financial opportunity just drop into your lap that you have the potential to act on. And I feel like you guys are going to be just in this state of almost like dreaminess and inspiration at what is available for you. Like, I really feel like many of you guys might just see a new future for yourself that has so much more potential in order to be confident and in order to be financially abundant. Some of the cards I'm pulling don't really match that. I pulled the 7 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. This is weird energy. This is like I'm lacking clarity, but I'm inspired and imaginative, but I don't really know my path ahead. And then this 3 of Swords is like heartbreak. So these are the things I think are ending for you in your financial sector. If you have felt like you really haven't known how you're going to make money, or you don't know, like you're sometimes confident, sometimes not, there's like a little bit of haziness or like a weakness to the structure of something, to the integrity of something. I really feel like that's becoming solid, cleared, unified, going in one direction, and it's going to help you know what your path is financially. Like, this is what I want to do. No more wishy-washy, no more back and forth, no more maybe this, maybe that. Lots of ideas, lots of exploration, not a lot of execution. I really see you streamlining and becoming consistent. And with this Aries energy, I feel like this 3 of Swords is saying that it's almost like you're kind of bravely moving towards this new financial beginning without as much emotional hesitation, because the Three of Swords is like wincing, like, ow, that hurt, like that I'm scared it's going to hurt again. I'm going to wince even before something has happened. I'm like, I think I'm anticipating someone's going to punch me in the face again, when in reality it's not going to happen. So I think many of you guys are holding on to, like I said, holding on to that past where you were hurt or something happened or you were disappointed in yourself or things didn't end up the way you thought. And it's almost like self-preservation where you didn't want to let that energy go. And now with the Sun and Jupiter here, I really truly feel like you're overcoming a lot of that heartbreak, that pain that you've kept inside of you, and stepping almost like into a more objective way at looking at your life in reality with this Queen of Swords. You're being a lot more like, you're being a little bit less emotionally tied to your decision making. And this doesn't mean that you're not following your intuition, but I felt like before it was like too like, oh yeah, like whatever I feel today, whatever I want, I don't know, like maybe it'll change. I feel like it's becoming a lot more like, this is my plan. This is what I know is in my best interest. This is connected to my higher self. I made this decision when I was in that state of being in my higher self, and now I'm just going to follow through on it. And it's just like a lot clearer, a lot less emotional, a lot less whimsical, a lot less like triggered by your change and fluctuations and moods, or your your heart. If it was hurting, you maybe spent more money, or you didn't go after certain things because you did have certain pain from your past. It's like you're letting those emotions go, and you're becoming logical, and you're becoming just like clear with your higher self about what you need to execute on, and not letting your softness kind of get in the way and deter you from like the physical reality that you're wanting to create for yourself. And as a Pisces, that's important, because Pisces, you have lots of feelings. You are the more sensitive soul, and sometimes that can get in your way when it comes to really practical stuff that needs to have more of that like mental clarity to it. On the same day, we have Venus moving into Gemini in your 4th house. So I do think that many of you guys are having some improvements within the home, within your family, within your emotions, that are helping you feel like you're a lot more solid in yourself. And maybe you're getting better at emotionally supporting yourself, like doing certain things to nourish your heart and your soul that make you feel like you can be objective and you won't get swayed as much, because you're offering that container and that support to yourself to process things outside of these more like practical things in your life. So it's like, okay, I have my time at home and I take care of myself, then I process things in, and then when I switch into work or money mode, I can be in a different mindset. I don't have to let those emotions kind of spiral me in other areas of my life. On April 14th, though, we have Venus in the 4th squaring Saturn in the 1st. So there is something I feel like about your long-term plan that needs a little bit of adjusting, and you might start to feel like some type of lack, some type of pressure. You might feel like, I'm not doing good enough. I pulled the Knight card. It might feel like there are a lot of things that you still need to confront, that you don't know, that you don't understand, that you haven't addressed before. It just kind of might feel like you might just feel burdened by the path ahead. Like, I don't really know what's next, or I need to make certain changes, but I don't know. With the two, I pull the Two of Swords. This is a card of literally not knowing. Like, I need to make a decision. I need to make a plan. I need to have a path ahead. But for some reason, I feel like today I don't know what that is, and I need to like make some type of shift, but there is still that feeling of uncertainty. So I feel that this month is not this super linear thing. Like, we get a lot of clarity, we move forward, but then on the 14th, it kind of draws back a little bit, and we need to make a little bit of an adjustment, and then we can move forward again. And I pulled the Knight of Swords. So this is encouraging you guys to not act impulsively, but to think long term. I feel like you guys are needing to make a decision about something. You need to have some sort of clarity about something, about your life and your plan. But it's saying, do not act impulsively about whatever that is, because I don't want you guys to act like, I think you guys are stepping into a more objective place instead of having the wishy-washy emotional stuff happening. But at the same time, on the 14th, you might regress and get a little bit in your head and then want to like make an impulsive decision. But I feel like this is not the day. It's the day to think long term, to challenge your assumptions and presumptions, to think about what adjustments you might need to make in your life for things to last into the future, for things to be really solid for yourself, but not to make any impulsive decisions, just to analyze. That's what I would encourage you to analyze how you feel. Maybe this is analyzing how you feel about certain relationships, certain financial decisions. But regardless, it's like, don't jump into it too fast. Take things slow, take things easy. This is a square Saturn, which is the god of time. So there is some element of time needing to unfold here to have clarity around what to do. On April 20th, then, we have an Aries solar eclipse, which is a new moon in your second house. This is going to create some really massive changes in your financial and confidence sector. So if you guys have been feeling that lack, like I've been saying, or having certain issues in that area of your life, like I've been saying, this eclipse is going to help liberate you from that. It's going to be the catalyst for change. You might see some radical, quick, abrupt, and massive changes as a result of this eclipse here. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, so I'm not going to go into that right now. On the same day, we have the sun moving into Taurus in your third house. And this is going to continue to put an emphasis on your mindset, how busy you are, how you communicate, and that area of your life. On the next day, April 21st, Mercury will retrograde in Taurus in your third house until May 14th. So the sun being here and then Mercury retrograding here in your third house is giving you an opportunity to reset things in terms of your kind of daily activities, the daily to-dos, the little errands, but more importantly, to reset and reconfigure your mind and your communication. Because I really feel like you guys, we try to change our mindset all the time, but at the end of the day, it's not this super, again, nothing in life is linear. It's not like, okay, I'm going to change this thought and I'm never going to have it again. Boop, I'm fine. No, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's like, okay, we tried to tackle it this way. Maybe we tried to communicate differently, or we tried to think about something differently, and it worked for a few days and then it didn't. And then, this perception changed, but then this didn't. And it's like, we're kind of analyzing what is working, what isn't working, how do we be our most mentally stable selves so that we can approach things in a practical way. And that might look like the things that you do each day, those things might adjust a little bit. The way that you think about things, they need to adjust a little bit. And again, with this Ace of Pentacles and then this Taurus energy, I really feel like there's something very practical and grounded about this. And then the Nine of Pentacles, okay, this seems like it's about money more than even mindset. There's something very practical, grounded, stable, maybe financially independent. There's something about this energy that I feel like you guys are needing to adjust your mindset on. So this could look like, okay, I want to make money on my own, or I want to be more independent and take care of things more on my own. But then you go too much into the mindset of I don't need anybody. And it's Mercury retrograde helps you kind of realize what it is important to lean on people for, what it's not important to lean on people for. Yeah, I feel like there's something around. And then Nine of Cups. Wow, this is really weird energy for you guys. I feel like this Mercury retrograde is going to be very helpful because all these cards are really nice. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. These are all energies that are bringing you towards wish fulfillment, financial independence, new opportunities. But I feel like there's something around the way that you have been either doing your tasks, thinking about them, thinking about your life or yourself, or the way that you're communicating that has been disrupting the achievement of these dreams and goals. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it's your chance to clean it up. And only you are going to know what it is that's causing that disruption. On the 25th, the sun in the third house in Taurus again will sextile Saturn in the first. So that's what I think is going to help really solidify these changes. So it's going to help you be okay, I'm really making this shift in the way that I'm doing this thing, the way I'm approaching this thing, the way I'm looking at this thing, and it's going to help me create that solid plan for the future so that I can fulfill my wish step by step, slowly. So if you're noticing on the 14th that you're needing to make a decision, you're I don't know what to do, and I said don't be impulsive. By the end of this month, by the 25th, I feel like you guys are going to have a lot more clarity about what that thing is for you long term, what it is that you need to do, what the decision is that you need to make. And I think you'll have more of that kind of solid plan. So that feels like it's going to be a really good month for you. I did want to pull one more card to see what the advice is for you. Actually, I pulled it before I started the video, which is aquamarine. So this is your advice for the month of April. Let's see what it says. Aquamarine presents itself to you with a clear message that you can't ignore. You are a teacher. You are here upon this earth to share your unique knowledge and wisdom to improve the lives of many. Okay, this is interesting because you have so much third house energy and Mercury there, the sun there, the later half of the month. And that's actually very much sharing a message with somebody. That's why I've been saying communication, but that's also teaching. What is sharing a message? It's teaching. So that could be important for you guys this month. You are here on this earth to share your unique knowledge and wisdom to improve the lives of others. Aquamarine is here to let you know that even if you don't believe that that's true of yourself, it is. You are emboldened by spirit through the medicine of aquamarine to step forward and speak with courage as you teach, guide, and support those who need to hear and learn what only you can convey. Kind of a big responsibility. The truth is, spirit would not assign us to you if it were not part of your true calling, and more importantly, if you are not capable of it. So you guys needed to hear that you are meant to share some message this month, and people are primed to listen. You have Mercury in the third, again, Sun in the third. This is about your throat chakra. What is it that you are here to share? And that is why your mind is so important, because if your mindset is off, you're not going to be willing to even think that you're worthy of sharing anything, that you have anything to share. What you share might come out skewed because your mind is in a bad place. And this is about clearing up your mind, clearing up the way that you communicate so that the message can be pure, so that you can impact others, teach others, deliver something to others, share something with others that's important, that is important for the evolution of their psyche and for this world. And not let yourself and your ego and all of your fears and insecurities and lack get in the way of that process. So that's what I'm saying for you guys. Before we wrap up, I did want to tell you that I am offering a 12-week coaching program, one-on-one. If you're interested in this, we're basically looking at your birth chart, and then we're looking at kind of what was going on in your childhood, seeing what issues may have come up during developmental phases, and then we work on that together to kind of eradicate certain beliefs and things that were structured during that time that are creating the same patterns over and over again. So if you're noticing, like, I keep ending up in the same pattern and it's like never changing, that is what we will work on. And it's some really powerful stuff, and so much awareness can come from looking at your astrology chart. It's insane. So if you're interested, you can email me at contact@willisboom.com, because I don't have a sales page up for this yet. I think I'll probably do it in the next few months. And then I have one-off sessions. So if you want to kind of see what that's about, you can check out my website, willisboom.com. And don't forget to comment down below if this resonates and how it plays out for you in the month of April. If you like the monthly forecast or if you prefer the weekly, don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends, and have a great day.